Welcome back to Christo's Cafe, everybody. I am your barista, the one Christo, serving you up a hot new deck guide. So today we are playing some Scoia'tael. I've heard and seen a lot across the web of people talking about how, the meta is a little bit stale or it's a little bit of a grind right now, and they're kind of seeing the same things pop up. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do something fun and different, and I decided in my head that I wanted to play Feign Death. I had never really touched the scenario before, and I figured why not give it a go and see what I can make out of it, just to kind of have a fun little deck. And turns out it actually won quite a few games. So it's a small sample size. I only played about a dozen games with it, but 9 wins, 3 losses. It's a 75% win rate at pro rank on the pro ladder. So not a bad deal so far. It's going to be a work in progress. I've, like I said, only played a dozen games with it, and I've been making tweaks as I go. So I'll walk you through the card selection that I have in here right now. I'll walk you through a few of the changes I made, and we'll kind of go from there. I've got 2 games for you as well. Proof that this deck can beat Scoia'tael. It's got a Patricidal Fury matchup, and then an Ethereal matchup as well. So you'll get to see this deck compete against 2 of the decks you'll see in the meta fairly often, just so you can feel good knowing that it does in fact work well. So obviously at the core of this deck, we're talking about Feign Death. That's why we're playing it. We're going to be able to spawn an Elven Deadeye the second the card is played. You get 2 Deadeyes once you play your first Elf, and a Waylay once you play your third. Waylay's not great. The beauty of it is there's a lot of damage to do in this deck, and you can set your Waylay up to get your Elven Deadeye. The whole goal here is to get a bunch of Elves on the board. That is the end goal. That being said, you can set up a phenomenal Vern with this. So Vern on the range row in a short round works fine as well. It still gets you 11 points, so that feels good. But dealing 2 damage for every Elven Deadeye on the board is huge. We're using Deadeye Ambush. That can spawn up to 3. Feign Death can spawn 3 more. Obviously, we also have Ellie who can spawn 2 more. So the potential to do damage with Vern is huge. Just like Vern can also play a couple Deadeyes on the back row for some quick boost. The other reason I really like Feign Death is it just requires an elf to play, and we have so many elves in this deck. You could win a short round 3 just with Feign Death and 2 bronze elves because it gets you a ton of points. So we went with Feign Death. Realizing we didn't need Devotion, we went ahead and tossed Oneiromancy into the deck. I toyed around with playing Call of Harmony as well, figuring I did need to decide between the 2, and Oneiro being an echo card and giving me the option to pull things like Bomb Heaver, Heatwave, and Feign Death, it would make the cut. I didn't know for sure about Great Oak. I wanted to have the Oak in the deck. It is such a powerful win condition for the end of the game, especially since we're swarming the board, right? That's the goal here with Death, with Vern, with Ellie, with our ability. We want the board to be full up, and the Oak can do a lot of damage with that kind of condition going on. Heatwave is just some awesome removal. I felt like throwing it in, and I just haven't seen a reason to take it out yet. Ellie is great. If we're playing against Nilfgaard, we want to use that to destroy one of their spies on our side, get us some big points off of that. You can use it to counter poison if you need to destroy that unit. So there's a few different ways you can get benefits from LES as you go through, and I think that obviously it's a no-brainer in this deck. Ellerin as well, you're going to control 5 elves. Be mindful of this card. If you're playing in round 1 and you're just kind of throwing some cards on the board because you want to get out of the round, make sure you don't play that 5th elf. Playing Ellerin out of the deck feels bad when you're kind of in a throwaway round, so keep an eye on that. Isengrim, again, no-brainer when we have a board full of elves. We threw Kieran in the deck just for a lock card. It's our only lock, so there might be an opportunity to do something else here, but I went there. Yavin, again, no-brainer. Only included 1 Rebuke. There's a lot of other removal, right? Yavin's good removal. We have the Heatwave in the deck. We have the Oak in the deck. We have things like Swordmaster in the deck, so we have other options there too. I threw a Sappers in. You're always going to have an elf on the board to be able to purify. We do have other options. We do have options like Ida to purify or add vitality. This card is more flexible. It's also 2 more provisions. Same amount of points. So I was a little torn, but those 2 extra provisions are really, really helpful in the deck. If I took out Oak, I would probably consider putting Ida in the deck instead of the Sappers, but I went this direction instead. There's also potentially, and I've been seeing a bit less of it, an option to put a second Sapper in the deck. Thought process being, if you're playing against Nilfgaard and you're going to see a bunch of poison, you can probably use Heaver to clean up that mess, and you don't need a ton of Purify. Like I was saying before, you can also use Ellie to destroy somebody who's been poisoned. So lots of options there. Second Sapper is probably not necessary. Swordmaster is not my favorite card in the deck. However, it is one of the few engines we have in the deck. So keep that in mind. It's very, very rare that you'll have anything at the bottom of this deck that's an engine. So Swordmaster is important. I do like trying to combo the Swordmaster with the Saboteur to give it a bit of a boost. A Swordmaster at 4 is a little bit weak. It dies pretty easily. So being able to throw the Saboteur on it feels better. There's also a line where we maybe change up Magic Lamp for attack advantage. So if we are playing first, we can use attack advantage to boost it. So there's a line there, but things like Predatory Dive and stuff like that sort of messes you up. I'm not 100% convinced on which direction to go there, but right now I'm pretty happy with using the Saboteur to boost it. Heaver, obviously for scenarios, we see it all the time. We get it played against us all the time. It's here to stay. Vanguard is a nice proactive play with a handful of elves. Because we diversified ever so slightly, threw in the scenario, threw in a few special cards and stuff, you're not going to get as much value, which is why I only included 1 instead of 2. Golden Froth was actually a suggestion from chat. It plays for 6 points almost all the time. We ended up pulling a squirrel out of the deck to throw this in. We did have a squirrel in before. I thought in certain scenarios it had its uses, but I kind of like this better. So we're going with the Froth. 2 officers. Another thing, sometimes you're lacking proactive plays in the deck. So the officers are really good for that. If you're going first and need to be proactive, you can always flip the lamp and use the officer to boost an allied unit. You've got Bowman, again, no brainer in this type of deck, can play for up to 6 points potentially. You got your Saboteur, who boosts something in hand. I love this, it's great for carryover. It's a great dry pass card, lots of options. You've also got the Bomber in the back, who can damage 2 units by 2. So again, typically plays for 5, has to play a little bit later. So just keep that in mind. I find you do have a lot of gold cards in the deck and your hands can be a little bit awkward. So sometimes in the opening round, you do have to commit a few gold cards to be able to contest the round. Don't feel terrible about losing it. Really for us, Isengrim, Vern, plus Feign Death are really the win conditions. Oak, again, can be kind of interchanged with some of those, but you should have enough firepower to really contest 2 solid rounds. You're not necessarily going to bleed a ton unless you know you've got the cards to go into a solid round 3, so there is still a line to be played there. There are a few other options in the deck. You know, we looked at putting the squirrel in like I was mentioning before. If we just look at elves in general, there are a few things that I do really like here. Teruviel in the deck. I played against a Kikimor deck that I just straight up lost to. Having Teruviel in would have won us that game, right? Damaging all units on the row by 1 would have wiped out all of their little tokens. So that is a good option. We talked about Ida already a little bit. Malena could be an option. Moving the units around is kind of fun. So that could be something we look at putting in. Again, the provisions just aren't there for it right now. Half-Elf Hunter, another option. 6 for 6 and puts another Deadeye on the board. The Harmony tag is kind of a waste here. So that's what makes me feel a little bit bad about getting it in. Again, I don't see the spot for the provisions to get it in the deck. Down the line, if I do make a version without Oak and I look at including stuff, Hunter would absolutely be one of them because I think we can definitely improve, especially on some of those 4 spots like the Bomber, to make some better plays. We said we could add a second Sapper potentially as well. That's an option. Having a Dragoon in the deck to move units around could be interesting as well. So that's a possibility, whether you're moving your Swordmaster back to the right row, whether you're moving something around to make Oak better, to make Vern better. There's a few different options here. So that could be something I look at putting in as well. Just for right now, I don't think there's anything else at 5 I'd want to pop out. Maybe the Vanguard if nothing else, but I like the possibility of playing that proactively. Commandos, another option. We're not only going to be controlling elves, so if something like Heaver comes out, it sort of makes a bit of a mess. Drawing Ellie is about the only way around that, so I'm not loving it, and especially if you control Vern, a lot of times Vern is coming down late in the game, so it may be an option, but I'm not necessarily loving it. So that's kind of the up and down of this deck. Again, it's got lots of options, it's got lots of removals, some good damage, so it is a lot of fun to play. That's really the main reason I made it. Like I was saying before, with the meta being a little bit you know, repetitive, let's say. This is something completely different and just a lot of fun. And hopefully you guys will see that in the next 2 games that you're going to see. If you're enjoying the content, please subscribe and I'll be happy to continue putting out more fun decks like Santa's Little Helpers over here, or other stuff like it, or message me in the comments below if you have any questions about it and I will be happy to answer. I do stream Tuesday, Thursday, and alternating Saturdays and Sundays, so you can check me out. I will throw all the links to my socials in the description. Until then, enjoy these 2 games and have fun with Santa's Little Helpers. So annoying to have to deal with. And there's more Scoia'tael, because that's what we do here. Do Scoia'tael. Alright, get out of here. E-Wave's important. See, this is where I start to get awkward because we don't have enough good cards. So yeah, Scoia'tael bronzes are kind of trash. So that's kind of the scenario I'm stuck in. Like, I'm drawing golds, which I should be happy about, but in reality, it's kind of awkward because I'm going to need to spend some of them to win a round. I can't kick them because if I don't draw them, then I just straight up lose. Do I have anything proactive to do? I totally don't have anything even proactive to do. I'm gonna have to draw Vern back row. That could have to be my first play of the game. What do I even have proactive? That's one of the advantages of the half-elf hunter, right? Is that it's proactive. I mean, I guess I could flip lamp and then play the officer. Yeah, exactly. It definitely feels better than playing Vern, I'll put it that way. Definitely feels better than playing Vern. Not good, but better. I think I need to figure out something to do with the bronzes. They're like not terrible. Oh look at what it is. I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable to say this deck is okay. It just does not beat Scoia'tael. That's totally fine, right? It's perfectly acceptable for decks nowadays. So, what's the card that moves? Is it a 5 provision Scoia'tael card, the one that moves units? I want to say it is. That's a 2 and a 2. Like all of it kind of feels bad, right? Yeah, that might be it. The Dragoon. Let's get out of here. That's the other problem. We only get 1 rebuke in the deck. Man, maybe the Oak has to go. The Oak has to go. We update some of the bronzes, like just give them a little boost. But I think the Dragoon is 5 provisions, right? Because if it's 4, I feel fine about it. If it's 5, it doesn't feel so hot. The Bomber here's probably fine. Well, this only takes 1 damage, right? The rest gets for... Hawk only moves enemy. I don't mind only moving enemies. Like, Hawk could be okay. The problem is I find you lose value on the Hawk because it's because of the Harmony tag, right? You really don't get much out of it. Hawk is 5 provisions as well. Yeah, it's all 5. We got a 4 provision. Hawk at least has some versatility because it does 2 damage as well. Like, Officer damaging this by 2, I guess in theory probably feels okay. Technically plays, well, it doesn't play for anything. Because this thing flips, but we save 1 damage off of it. Might as well just do that. Have that flip. Like, the Bomber doesn't feel terrible to play. I think we only run 1 now. Oh no, we run both of them. That's the thing, none of the bronze stuff feels particularly good. Strays of Spala. Spala's what, 5? Does that move anything? Or just the opponent, or just like, this is where I start to run into problems. Good bronzer faction. What do you think you are, a Skilliga player? Right? I just think I have too many garbage 4 provision cards in my deck. Like, do I kind of want Yavin to kill this, but I don't want to commit 2 ambushers to it. And there's also a possibility. I just want to get out of this round as quickly as humanly possible. Like, straight moves on both sides. You see in Kelly decks. I played it in an Ethereal deck to move it to the other row. It's 5 provision. Yeah, that doesn't help me. It's all 5. I'd love to see a 4. What if I pass here? If he passes as well, we end up tying. If he plays, then I win up a card at least. Does that really help me though? Because if I win up a card in this type of scenario, he's probably just bleeding me in round 2 and we end up in the same spot unless I burn some high value cards. I'm not opposed to. Officer's the other option, but the longer we go through, the more value he's gaining off the passive stuff. Let's see if we can pass now and make him play. That's okay. I think it was the best bet for me to win by a card, or to lose by but up a card. Because then what, round 2 we have the chance to play 2, so even like playing the officer at 5 points is okay. That for some carryover is good. Getting Onero is good. Getting Oak is good. What does Onero grab us now? All we need is Feign Death, really. Oh, we can grab another card. So there's a chance to go get 7 here plus whatever there. Or to go Officer into Saboteur. Or he can just go with it, you know, whatever. In the back row, that's living dangerously against Scoia'tael. I'm always so torn in this matchup. Like, playing the Officer to hit that and make it flip. But 10 to 3, I need 8 points to get out of here. Three, boost that to 5, 6, 7. Let's try this. I don't know if it's a good play. But if I boost this, if he passes here, not that I'm convinced he will. When they play Larva on range, right? Oh, it feels so good. It is rare that my monster opponents are that dumb. Like when they play Larva against Nilfgaard and they don't play it over their stratagem, they just kind of dump it on board, or they don't play it over the fruits or something. You got Brathens in hand, feels so good. So this feels generally bad, right? Technically 2 procs and Oak keep us ahead. Five, 6, 7, 10, 11. Technically we can go Vern plus Deadeye, 6, 12. Oh, it's just so like awkward in this matchup to do anything productive. I would really love to stay ahead. I feel like Vern is so good with, well, you know what? I'm gonna do this because I think Isengrim plus Feign Death is good enough. I say that now, but who really knows? We can Heatwave Arnjolf. I feel somewhat okay about it. Oh, it feels awkward. I'm in the wrong corner, aren't I? There we go. Come on, what are we doing here? Just pass. Just pass and give me the card. Make my gold worth it. Holy shit, we're going leader. Hemdall? We really gonna commit Hemdall this round? No. We're killing Vern.
Well, what is it?
Heat waving are not well. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Does Ellie put us ahead though? He plays for 11 points, puts us at 23. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. He plays for 13. That doesn't get us ahead either. So nothing essentially gets us ahead, really. I would love to get the card back now that he spent, especially since he spent leader. I mean, Ellie destroying one of these actually makes a lot of sense, right? It also prevents him from having bloodthirst.
Clearly, I've a weak time for you to die.
Oh, Elrond pops out. You guys fucking rock, because Lord knows I did not see that. Good on you guys. I mean, I'm okay to oak here if we need to. Front row next time though? Oh, I'm setting up Hemdall like a big dumb idiot, right? I was just thinking Yavin provides us a ton of value, or oak. I was stacking, but I think Heat Wave, yeah. Yeah. I give him an extra 2 points. It is insane. That shit is fucking nuts. 13. Actually, no, I gave him extra 3 points. I mean, not a huge difference, but nonetheless. Does Isengrim give it to us? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Everything's essentially like 10-ish points, right? We're gonna lose the card for sure, I think. Well, we definitely have to heat wave that. But we have a double leader. Alright. Going with you, DP. Wild Boar feels really bad. That's about it, right? Mork doesn't feel so bad. And if anything, if he plays Boar here, I think that's fine. We might have to oak, but that doesn't bother me too much. Actually, Isengrim probably feels better than oak, no? Because we boost everything back up. So we have nothing. Well, Bloodthirst is only 2, so it doesn't feel so bad. You're butchering Elrond's name every time? I don't know. Is it not Elrond? How are you pronouncing it, Mesa? I'm not saying I'm right by any means. Don't take my pronunciations for sure.
The only good human is a dead human.
If we can keep Onero and like Yavin, we probably feel good about Feign plus Yavin. We can keep a third one as well, or even better. I don't mind oak. Oh, you can't write it. Fair. Huge play there, DP. That makes Wild Boar much worse. Because it only hits for 2 on one of them. Right? So I think we just oak here. 4, 5, 6. Just kill one of the abominations. And then we can always go Neuromancy after. The second one we want to grab Feign Death with, but right now for 8 we don't have anything. You'd Yavin? I just want to make sure I keep enough for Feign Death. That's my only thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just go ahead and hit. Yeah, Yavin's bad in short run, but Yavin with Feign Death isn't so bad. That's my only thing. It triggers the elf shenanigans, right? Oh yeah, and I get +1 there. Result by 4. I might have to play Oak anyway. I might have to play everything, to be completely honest. I at least can, right? Because Onero comes back. If I can play Onero next and get back in front by doing it, like Bowman plays for 6 by hitting something, 7 by hitting something on the back row with Isengrim. That might be the next look. He's playing Harold. Interesting.
What's the news know about pain?
So I think we have to go Oak next. Nothing here is active doing anything. What's up, Carol? How are you? Welcome, welcome. I mean, Harold doesn't actually do anything, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna let Harold live. I don't actually care about it. I'd rather kill something that's not going to be able to come back. I worry if I kill Harold, he plays Siegfried's Right or whatever to bring back Harold and something else. I might actually get to keep my card. Holy shit. He destroys an 8. Down by 1. Oneromancy for any junk that I have in my deck. Excellent. I'm glad to hear you're doing well. I am doing quite well myself. Do I want to play the Saboteur to give more carryover? I think I do, right? I only need 1 point. Yeah, let's get some carryover, my friends. Oh, Squirrel wouldn't have been a bad idea, DP. He played Harold already. I guess Siegfried's the only... Siegfrieda's the only, like, real issue here. We go to narrow back. Then we need what? We need... We've got our Squirrel. Do we need Squirrel? Oh, to get Squirrel out to keep more elves. Yeah, that makes sense. I think we kick Squirrel though, right? Rebuke. I mean, all we need is the 2. I think Rebuke is bad though. Bomb Heaver is a total brick. Swordmaster is kind of meh. Like a lot of my deck is kind of meh right now. I think Rebuke might be best at 5 points. Because the rest involve him having to play something, and I'm not convinced he plays anything. I think I keep it. I don't love it by any means, but I think I keep it. I mean, grabbing the scenario wouldn't have been the end of the world, right? Because then we just grab, I don't know, some other junk with... We played most of our good stuff. We have junk left. But he shouldn't have much. If he has, like... See, there's our Rebuke target, I think, right away. Do we Rebuke that? Or do we Officer that? I think we just Rebuke it, right? While we can. Because it still saves us. That's 7 points we just rebuked, so that's good. Purify's probably kind of meh. Officer's good. Ooh, Blood Eagle. What's he have left, though? Yeah, I guess that's kind of good. In theory. I'd probably keep the Sapper for last. No, nothing good. I think we're okay. I think you can pull off 9 points. I mean, we burned through all of our golds, but we won the extra card. And that's what matters.
Your skull will make a fine tanker.
For your bed!
Waylay's so bad.
Oh, what a lovely tea party.
Waylay is so bad. But it's not the Waylay that's important, right? It's the fact that you get a truckload of elves to mess around with. So it makes all the difference in the world. But Echo Man, why try hard? That's not necessary. Just spoke to completely. He's a noob. But let him. Oh, okay. It was so bad. I mean, I won, but it was so bad. I feel ya. Getting the lock here would probably be nice, right? That's our opening card. That's a good card. This is a good card too. Like, ugh, this deck, man. The bronzes are so bad. It's so awkward. I want to learn the game to be good. I don't blame you. I think everybody should want to be good at whatever game it is they play. I want to be good at Gwent. I care more about having fun with Gwent, but I want to be good at Gwent. But I'd rather stream, have fun, and watch you guys laugh at me for making terrible life choices. You know, whatever. It is what it is. What are you effing about over there? I think it's just you. Everything seems to be fine on my end for once. Thanks, Doom. Makes me feel better about life. You guys didn't want to play your larva on the back row? Really? Come on. I just want to bowman it. Not too much to ask.
I seek.
Echo, for once, it's not on me. I told you I fixed my internet. I'm super happy about it. Super happy about it. I also got a Wi-Fi extender that's probably 100% not necessary. You're lagging? I was just saying that that's a you problem, not a me problem for once. Back row, you Brooksa. Come on. Come on.
May your sword and arm be one.
Shoddy internet. Well, you were saying that Dragon Ball pairs you up mainly with people in your own like region, right? What the fuck was that? Becker's Rock Slide? What? Somebody's getting all cheeky playing playing shit like that. Fuck, man. This is where I get stuck with this deck. It's super awkward to play when you actually draw a good hand, which is not how this game should go. Like, him killing that one engine I have really messes me up. Like, a bowman still keeps me way ahead, obviously, but it also just puts his thrive targets lower. Like, I want to at least pressure him enough to get a good, what did I want to ask? I don't remember, Echo. I do not remember exactly. Of course, I play the bowman and then he plays something in the back row. I was just complaining about how when you draw well with this deck, it's still super awkward to play because you have too many gold cards in your hand. Oh, it pairs based on ping, right? Okay, that's what I was asking. You mentioned that it pairs based on region, which obviously matters. I think it might be. I think it might be because it forces him to make another play. He's gonna push again, but again, our hand is so good. It just feels bad playing against a monster deck that I know probably runs Ethereal, that I just commit. I mean, I committed nothing, right? I committed literally a bunch of bronzes. Oh, fuck me. That might have been a mistake on his part. Right, Echo. It probably takes the people who have the lowest ping and uses them as the most flexibility, right? They can legit do anything and go anywhere. Okay, we probably don't need the squirrel, right? There's nothing he's getting back there. Rebuke's okay. Bane with Vern, with Isengrim, with Yavin is solid. The Sapper might be okay. I don't know what I need to purify. Is he actually going to play Defender here? I guess there is, in theory, a play where he could. I could also brick myself pretty bad by drawing fucking Ellerin. I'm not gonna do it because I've bricked myself way too often at this, and I just won't. Well, there's our Ethereal. I guess that's why he wanted to just straight up pass, figuring that his Ethereal will do most of the work. I have the answer to Ethereal. Leader front row. Then what? And Vern doesn't kill, that's only 6. I'm gonna go Feign Death for now. Because yeah, Vern would do 6 damage. I could have done the 1 point elf actually. That might have made more sense. Well, we can do it next, right? Because we're gonna get more Deadeyes. The whole point of this deck right now is to just run as many Deadeyes as we can. So next turn I probably play the Bomber. Then I probably Yaven. Got the Heaver. Good on him for the answer.
Look what the werecat dragged in.
I think I still do this. Then I go Yaven to kill that. It produces 2 more Deadeyes. Then Deadeye Ambush provides me with 3 more. Then Vern front row. 6. I think I just rebuke that first, actually. And Yaven is... Oh, I thought Ellie. Yeah, not what I thought I had. And I can't do that right now anyway. Clearly should have played the Bomber on the same row then. I fucked that up. I thought I had the wrong one. 3, 4. Maybe I do it anyway. Maybe I just ambush and Vern and see what it takes out. You couldn't hit the fucking Phantom once. You couldn't hit the Phantom once. That's all I wanted. I just need to hit it. Well, twice. Actually, that's not true. Yeah, once with 2 pings. So maybe we take it down next turn with either Yaven or Oak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yaven's 7. So maybe we hit Oak on the Phantom. I think that put us in a decent spot overall. Because that's good removal, that's good removal, that's good removal. Not terribly concerned about that. And the back row to boot. I get you wanted to do that, but that's being a little cheeky, isn't it? 4, 5, 6. Now we Yaven. Yeah, Yaven kills the Phantom. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that still leaves us a nice Great Oak. Isengrim's still a lot of points. Sapper is kind of useless, but whatever. Rebuke is still nice. Heatwave is still good. No Oberon? I'm trying to think of what else I'm expecting to see. No Osriel, I can't imagine, right? What's up, Milton? We did get hosted by Mercer and was lovely enough to host us with a good party of 30-something peeps. We're usually hanging around a solid 20 mark, Milty. We just get the extra little kick over the top now. I guess I just rebuke that, right? I can't imagine him having an engine at 5 that matters. And rebuke that. We'll throw the Sapper in the front row after. We might even go Isengrim after that. Because it spreads the boost across the board. No, not yet to rebuke? Well deserved. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that, Milton. Honestly, the community is a lot of fun. I while I'm working, I spend a good amount of time in Mercer and stream all day, and I just request Nickelback songs all day long, and I know it pisses him off. So, you know, he repays the favor by coming and hanging out here. Oh shit, not yet. You meant the rebuke, not yet. Yeah, you're right. I guess I just have to play the Sapper now. I know it doesn't really do anything, but... I guess we go Sapper because we'll hang on to these guys. We can go Sapper, then we can go Isengrim, then Oak. And then keep Heatwave for last. I just don't know what he's gonna play that's big enough that I'll give a shit about.
I'm so tired.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so we're fine space-wise. We got the rooms for it. We got all the space in the world. He plays Crones, and this is the first time I'm seeing one? What is happening here? Him getting taller is actually better, right? It gives us better oak value, theoretically.
No mercy!
There's no point in killing this, unless he has something to consume it and something to renew it. I don't think that's... I mean, that's something he would do, but I doubt it. Yeah, he's making my rebuke, my oak worse. How's this dick? What you want the dick list? You want to see a pic of my dick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not so bad so far. It is. I think we should theoretically be okay here. I lied. With fruits, we're probably gonna lose. So far, it is. It's 3 and 2. I may have played one game wrong so far. Mr. Echo, dirty boy.
Oh, what a lovely
do.
tea party.
The big W.
Oh, what a lovely tea party.